Okay friends, we're going to be making our superhero backgrounds. This is going to be the sky and the things that you want going on in the background. What we're going to do is start by adding some drawings in our sky. You can put the moon in, you can think about what time of day you want. Do you want it to be daylight? Is it a rainy day? Is there going to be lightning in the sky? Is the moon going to be out? I'm going to do a moon time one, but you can do a daytime. And even what's neat is in the daytime you can add things like birds or airplanes or hot air balloons, anything you want. What would be in the sky, and that's what you're gonna put. So again, I'm just gonna do a nighttime one for mine. So what I'm gonna do is put a C for the moon. Now the key thing when you're using these crayons is we want to push really hard and make these colors opaque, okay? Really hard for this direction because we're going to be creating a resist with our paint later on. So I've got my moon in there. Now I'm going to go in and do some stars for mine. So again, you think about what you want to do. It does not have to be what I did. So I'm going to go in, I think, with a white crayon for my stars. Swirls in my sky. Maybe it's a windy day. Hey, and then I don't know, I'll do a couple of clouds. And I don't care what colors you use. They don't have to be, the colors that you normally see for things in your sky. That is up to you. I'm just asking that you think of the top and middle space of your paper and that you're pushing hard to create opaque colors. Hey friends, perfect. So I added some things in my sky, I did a nighttime one, so that was what I want to do with swirls, moon, clouds. But again, do what you want. Today we're going to be using these paint palettes again, and I want you to pick warm or cool colors in your sky. If you do warms, you're going to get kind of like a sunset color scheme. If you do cools, you're going to get more of a chilly cool color scheme. So when you're looking at the color wheel, there's two types of colors. One half will have your warm and the other half will have your cold. So on the warm side, they remind us of things that are really hot, like red, orange, and yellow. But on our cold side, they remind us of cold, chilly things, and that's going to be purple, blue, or green. So up front, I'll have a color wheel for you to look at. You're going to pick one side, either team warm or team cold to be on, and that's what you're going to use with your paint. These paints, in order to get them to work, you need to add a little water to them from your brush. We want a light layer of color because we're going to be gluing things on this paper. And if you get too dark, it's going to take away from those other things. So while you're doing this, add enough water so that your paint is light enough. I'm going to do a cool color scheme because it kind of fits my nighttime theme. I'm going to start with one of the cold colors, blue, and I'm going to go across my paper with that blue. Now that's looking really light, so I kind of want to darken it a little more, so I'm going to go in with a little bit more, and how I do that is I'm just moving my brush in the paint a little longer. So if you want to make your paint darker, you just move it in the paint a little longer. I'm now going to go across the page with that blue. I'm holding my paintbrush by the gripper. Now what happens if it gets too dark and I'm not really liking the look of it? Get a little water on your brush and spread it out with just some water. This will also help too if you have some areas where it's really scratchy or it's just not spreading. Alright, so I went in with a little bit of blue. I think I might try another cold color. Let's do some purple. If you want your colors to come together and blend, you can. So we're going to go all the way to the bottom of our paper. And again, if you're hearing this, see how that's kind of scratching or my bristles are going out? I call that a crazy hair day. You need more water if you're noticing that your brush is getting dry. So go ahead, friends. Fill this up with paint. Try to keep it light if you can, but it's okay to go in and darken areas if you need to later on. Okay friends, so we now have our superheroes and our buildings done. As you can see, I went in my buildings and I scratched away just a couple more details. I filled some areas in, I thickened some lines, and I added some variety. We're first going to cut our buildings out. Okay, so I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm just going to carefully cut along the tops of my buildings. Friends, I have these cut out. As you can see, I still kept the buildings together. I was just cutting that very top edge of each building to get the background. So I'm going to very carefully flip this over, and you're going to have to be very gentle again, holding the top and bottom so we don't rip, and very gently you're just going to do a few lines across the back of your scratch board, but you do not want to rip this, so do it very carefully. Before it dries, you're going to flip it over and you're going to line this edge here up to the edge of your paper. So I'm going to take this, line it up edge to edge, and I'm going to just rub gently with my hand. Now, you might have some areas popping out, so what you need to do is go in, add a little glue on the paper to those areas, and then just rub it more. It's going to be a little tricky. It's going to take a couple pieces of glue going back in to get these down, but it's going to look really nice once you get that finished. Now I have my superheroes, so I'm going to cut really close along the body with a pair of scissors. So I'm going in, and this is going to require you to really go slow, because especially if your figure's kind of small, you're going to have to really take your time. Now, if you are struggling cutting really close to the line, then don't cut so close. So I'm going to cut in between the legs. So the only place that really in the figure you don't need to cut is in between the arms, if you have a superhero pose like mine. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I want to actually figure out first, am I going to have it flying in the sky like that, standing in front of my buildings like that? Where in the sky do you want to fly? Now if I have a lot of detail, like over here I have the moon, I might want to balance that weight out and place my superhero over here. So I'm going to go in, add some glue, and then I'm going to take it, flip it, and rub that on. Alright, and that is it, my friends.